5, 4, 3, 2, 1, live. Yes. Hello. Hello, Paris. TypeParis is back. The talk are back. We are live stream. I hope from your computer somewhere in the world you are able to follow us via the internet. So we are very happy to receive again the Type Talk at Le Tank in Paris, near La Bastille. The next time you are in Paris, you will be welcome with a seat here with everybody. And tonight we have Camille Gallet near me who will present the event tonight. So Camille, we know each other since few years now because you are part of the Master of Typographic Design at ECV. You teach typography, layout, some book design. Yes, thanks for your help. And also Camille found Atelier 3. You are 3-4 people working there?
We are just 2 people.
2 people.
At the beginning we were 3, but now after a few years we are just 2 people.
2 people. You keep it. Yes, Atelier 3, it's 3. It's a good trick. Okay. I know an agency called Atelier, 4, but there are 3 founders, so it's an habit tonight. So I give you that, and it's your turn.
Okay, thanks. So, it's my turn now. I'm very happy and proud to introduce the first Type Talk of this new Type session. I'm also a little bit nervous because I have to say it's my first public talk in English. So, excuse me, because I'm perhaps a little bit reading. This evening we are privileged to have with us François Morel and Marina Chakour. Both are professionals of the design scene, coming from distant countries. François is from Paris, so not so far away. And Marina is from São Paulo in Brazil. She lives in The Hague and is directly coming from New York. They both share an unconditional love for handlettering. Their meticulous and precise work implies a particular sense of time that one can kind of feel while observing their design. Our first guest this evening is François Morel. François is a French sign painter born in, so we have to do it, 1974, and working in Paris. His artistic career is unusual. After studying fine arts and art history, he started a self-made graphic designer career at the end of the 90s. Working mainly for music industry, he designed record artworks, logos, etc. His visual work takes place mainly in urban spaces, represented by words and statements which appears in cities. As a child, he received from his mother a gift, a book about sign painting. Just one, okay. A very important one, perhaps. Since then, his interest for type and lettering never stopped until he finally decided to turn it into a career. In 2013, he created more signs, Morel enseigne in French, and has been working ever since as a full-time sign painter, creating storefronts, hand-painted logos, signage, and even bike panels for shops, restaurants, and several brands. Besides, I noticed that bikes plays a significant role in François' life. From 2010 to 2011, he has been a bicycle courier in Paris, riding through the city and close suburbs. He kept a visual memory of all his daily trajectories by creating GPS drawings. Today, he still carries his design equipment on his cargo bike. I don't know if you came with it tonight. No. Okay, perhaps too hot. Okay. More than just a detail, this choice is meaningful. François Morel is part of a new generation of designers who give a new breeze to craft and manual process. Please welcome warmly François Morel.
Hi. So I can start straight. Okay, hi. Thanks a lot for inviting me. Some things I've lost all my data like 2 days ago, so it was quite a rush to get everything. I will just do like a slideshow now. Showing my experience, like my career, starting from the graffiti to graphic design and now sign painting. So finally I got back a lot of pictures and blah blah blah, so I have a lot of things to show, so maybe I will be quite fast on some pictures, but there are some I will explain the process of the work, so don't be like, wow, it's going too fast. Because I only have like 40 minutes. So this is when I need help. Yeah, tu peux juste... Sorry. Le début, ouais, il faut que j'aille tout en haut. Ouais. Ah, il faut toutes les faire. Non, ça marche. Si tu slides, ouais. Ouais, c'est bon. Ok, sorry. Okay, so back in the early 90s, I was doing like graffitis. This is 92. I was like 18, trying to do some block letters. Okay, so fuck. Okay, so I was really focused on doing things in the streets and taking a lot of time in some places to do big graffiti pieces. It wasn't really my thing, so I was like doing illegal things and playing with the things like that, like going at the stop of a bus, taking off the advertising, going back to home, paint some things, my name, and then put it back in the streets on the bus and just let it go like it was like in the late 70s and early 80s in the US when graffiti started. So I will just slide some styles. This is just like showing you my experience of what became like sign painting now, but doing things like that. Tunnels in Paris. This was for a graffiti book, I think it was 203 or something like that. Trucks, the one on the bottom was made with brushes and paint, and not the usual way as graffiti guys were doing at the moment. Like everybody was using spray cans, and I was already trying things with rolls and brushes. This is just typical graffiti. I guess this one is one of the last I did, like years ago. Kind of things like that. Funny things. This was in Amsterdam for a demonstration, like a political thing. We went with my art teacher to go there, and then we did something. This is the street of Paris. Some sketches. This one was like that at the beginning, then became like that, and this is one of my last ones, I guess. It's like 80 years ago, just like that, and I wasn't painting since years already. So, simple sketches. This was for a book too. This was later. It was for a record for the Beatnuts, and they wanted something like graffiti on the cover, but finally they didn't get this design. We did something really simple with the type. Yeah, it wasn't so. Block letters again in graffiti. We were calling that like the cowboy style. This is in the street again. So this is Oxmo Puccino for the Frenchies who know the guy. It's a French rapper, and we did some things for him, like LPs, and we put our tags with a friend on the top of the picture. So this was in the 90s, and at the end of the 90s, I was at art university, and then I started to stop the graffiti and do some art works in the streets, using words and typographies, but the same way, the illegal way, doing the words on posters and really cheap way, and posting them on the streets. So this is the same process finally, but I was posting the text straight on the bus. It was a series about saying beware and all the thing of Big Brother thing and surveillance. So this is written in French, but it's written beware. They watch everything, every move you make. This is a sticker series. I put a lot on cameras and blah blah blah. This is an electronic billboard on the old one on the Montparnasse tower. They were like advertising rolling, and then there was this number. If you want to have your ad, just call us. So I called the guy. He was a kind of nerdy guy in a really small. It was like in a movie scene, like in a really nerdy guy in a small thing, a huge guy, and I explained my project, and he was so yeah, let's do something funny. So it's a kind of hack because he didn't ask to his boss to do that, and then I just paid him like that, and then we put it, and it stayed like 1 week. It was cool. I have some videos. So this is the same series in the Nova Mag. It's an old magazine now, but there were like this announcement. I don't know the word, and I put my attention. This is the Big Brother thing again. The same sentence there, because I knew a guy working there. So the same way he put that with. Without asking to his boss, and I didn't pay him. He just said, "Okay, let's do that. It's funny." So I did this one in front of the big stores. It's written, "You are a prisoner of the system. You are in the matrix in a way." Same thing with stickers. This is against extreme right wing thing, using once again like kind of typography you can find in those signage in the streets, like official ones. This was really later, like maybe 10 or 15 years ago. No, this is written there. Yeah, okay, sorry. This was for a kind of exhibition, like a street art thing, and message was like saying, okay, this is a public space, but finally we are surrounded by a lot of rules. So this was funny to play once again with the codes and saying, playing with words. So this is the same process as posting like the illegal way on the bottom of the buses. It's during an exhibition in Rennes, in France, and this was like, okay, let's make a stop in all the advertising we have everywhere. So I did this one illegally too. We went with some students to paint the whole billboard in white during the night, and then when it was dry, we put the poster back on the top, I guess. This is the same thing in the subway in Paris, because sometimes you had no advertisings on some spots, so there was one like in Republic, so I went there. This is a hack of the alarm signage, and this is the same way of thinking, like, okay, we don't care, we can just ring the guy and say, okay, with the metro, it's not coming or something, I don't know, just protest and do it. So this is in Festival d'Avignon. There were a lot of demonstrations regarding some rights and blah 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 during this period. Everybody was there were big strikes. So I was invited for an exhibition, and finally I once again used some codes of the do-it-yourself protesting things. So I just took some cardboard. Bit some things and did a stencil on it saying, okay, where is the struggle and where is the victory? And the funny thing in Avignon is when it's the festival, it's totally a big mess in the streets with all the posters. So this was funny to put some political things in the middle of that. So this is a more poetic one. It's not so crazy, I mean, regarding the typo or something, but it was all the work I did were really in the context of the space. I mean, there it's just a banner with a type like quite condensed, and I thought it would be really cool to have it like really readable, and so I don't know if I have to translate it, but I lost hours trying to save some. So this is a project called Hack Beseder, and once again it's political words and using the ABC thing, and I did a lot of cheap posters with this font. So yeah, this is Place de la Bastille, streets of Paris. I did the same thing in Berlin some years ago for an exhibition. Okay, GoPro wasn't there yet because I'm old. So I had this camcorder. I did some wire trick and bought a small spy camera, and I put it on my hand. And the idea was I did the Hack Beseder too. It was the same process but English words. So. Back in the exhibition, I was showing the movie of the sticking in the streets, and you could get a free package with all the stickers for free, so you could stick them in the streets. This is it. This is a more poetical one too. It was okay. I'm always playing with words, so I don't really know how to translate this one, but maybe someone can help me or something. But anyway, I did this thing, and finally it was lead. You know, lead. I don't know how you say that. So quite heavy to put it on, and I put it at the bottom of the sea. So there it was. Sentences, okay, leaving traces, and it was on a beach, and it's like 15, yeah, it was like 10 meters long, I guess, and I wrote the sentence with the things I thought I found on the beach, like stones, but mainly with all the shit people are living on the beaches. So, and I was quite on the hill to get this picture, so this is why it's a bit blurry, but it's quite huge. So this was a cookie advertising, and they just did this picture, and I took again this sentence, leaving traces, to play with the picture finally. This was for an exhibition. It was a really trendy one, so I didn't really like back in the days this street art and hype thing, as we say hype now, but this was a wordplay with the Public Enemy title, and hype isn't the same word in their track, but anyway, it was funny to play with that. This was during the second Gulf War. It's written potential target, as at the beginning it was anyway, all the war was like that, but it was a terrible mess for the civilians and blah blah blah. So this is a Brittany Ball series. It's usually really Frenchy names on those balls, but I thought some things has to change now, so it speaks by itself, I guess. So this is a series on paper tissues. It's with old small stems. It's a more poetical way of working. So this was for a drawing exhibition, and once again they invited me, but I just wanted to work with words and doing like handwriting things. So this was for an exhibition in Grand Palais called La Force de l'Art, the first one. Once again, it's handwritten. This is in the streets in Paris, and it's written tomorrow, yesterday will be today, and this is something you can. It's circular, so you can have the thing was to play with the idea of it's never stopping. Everything is like today or tomorrow. It will be the same. Okay, so there I was invited in Pau in France for an exhibition, and I went in the main park to take some. I went in the streets to find something to do regarding the context of the city, and in the main park I took some pictures of those things on the trees, and did a huge installation with movies, and those two screens you can see there on blue and there were like videos with words, memory and existence. So anyway, you can see it's speaking by itself too. It's disappearing, and all the pictures I took were neon lights. So this is the same sentence for La Force de l'Art in the Grand Palais. So we were like a group of artists on the same spot, and we were having like 1 week per guy. And the first one was posting a big pictures, like screen printings one, and I cut my sentence in the things after painting everything in black. And you had like political messages on screen, and newspapers on the floor. I have to be fast. Okay, this is my graphic design stuff, like a selection. So this was my first one for a French rapper. It was funny. It was for Virgin, so we have a kind of budget. So we did like a limited edition. You had to cut the rope to open the CD. I have so many stories about this album, but I guess I don't have the time. So this was the flaps. This is the inlay with the CD. So the wrapper is there on the left, and voilà. So this was for the advertising campaign. The first week we had those big posters in the subway, and the first week it was saying, okay, something will happen. And then the second week it was on the same spot this one, so imagine what you want, but I guess the pig is someone political here. So this was like guerrilla marketing, street marketing with like cheap posters saying political things, and this is the same artist for the same album. This is just playing with like, this is my alarm clock, so this is a French rapper too, and I just did some new letters, some projects. This is French rappers too. Every time we try to, at the beginning I was with 2 other friends during 3 years, and so this is one of them we did together, and we always try to have those flaps things to do. It's finally kind of a graffiti because you have to read from the left to the side with like weird designs. This is another style. Another one. So once again, it's like hand painted, but it's fake. This was funny. It was for a promotional one, so it was the title was Poom Poom Short. So I did some like fake blue jean thing, and the disc label is the Levi's button. This is for placebo. It's for meds, so it was like a medical box. Once again, playing with the plane ticket. There I took some neons pictures and rewrote the name of the artist. This is a funny one, but it's not really interesting, but there is a funny story, but I can't speak about that, I guess. There was a cool concept behind, and some friends told him the day before I sent everything to the factory to print, okay, but look, you are in the water, they will call you fishy, you know, so we finished like Puff Daddy, so anyway. So this is like handwritten too for a compilation. This is once again a end process to like back in the days, taking a Xerox print of a picture and using some liquid on it on a white paper to make a transfer. Some other style. Once again playing like with this wire. And this is an Art Deco. I found this font in an old book, and I played with that to do something weird, like modern but old. So this is the same artist. So this is the booklet of the album. It's once again playing with the context. It's about this was a best of, so. There, it's the same thing. I found some wood type prints on a book, and I played with them and used them as a real font. So those are some logo types and fonts research. There, it was for a fashion brand, and they were doing something like a sailor thing, so I went to find some old letters on boats and tried to do the brand design with that. This is another handwritten thing for a cycling team, which was mine. This is the first logo on the left, and then some years after that, it became this one. When we did some travel, we did some camping style things too. This is the same process as my art tissue paper thing. It's handwritten on the tissue to get this kind of style. This is branding too. Once again, it's handwritten. Those were work after the rock and rolling logo. This is a universal kind of process. Same thing for old style, like Art Deco. The old Pigalle in Paris, they were opening a bar and they wanted something in this style. So it's just a research with letters coming from old books for sign painters. This is an illustration. Same thing, cover drawing books with flaps. Same things. This is a political during the Gulf War II. This is water. How do you call that? Watercolor work. This is drawing on and screen printed. Illustrations for a big shop in Paris. Political, poetical thing. Something related with the cycling thing. It's an illustration, and they did a messenger bag with that, which was reflective. This is for a fashion show, and it was the theme was '89, and as they knew that I worked in the musical industry, they wanted me to do something with that, with the music and blah blah blah. So I did what I was doing with my friends when we were kids. We were having like vinyl records, and when they were totally destroyed, we were drawing back as we could the cover. So this is what I did. I bought like a really cheap color pencils thing in a supermarket and did really trashy not transfer, but finally it's like that. It's quite crappy, but it looks funny. And they printed them as vinyl, and you could get some as goodies in the fashion show. So this is my sign painting work. It's written ice cream. Do you have ice creams? No, you don't. I really like the whole days, so I really like the distressed style, and finally it's kind of a link with my graphic design career, trying as I could to use like end written things and handmade things. So this is a funny one. It's reverse glass painting. This is gold leaf gilding on the same coffee shop, and I added some snow during the winter. Same thing. This is gold leaf. This is wood carving for a friend. So I found interesting to use this kind of wood type thing to do it on the wood. This is like a truck painting, a barber shop, same barber shop. This is reverse glass painting. This is those letters are coming from an old sign painter book. So because it's a kind of it's a craft what she does, and it's a whole district in Paris, and this is an old front store. I thought it was really cool to do this kind of style, and she was totally agreeing with that. So I was really happy. So this is my vehicle. I don't have any driving license. It's funny, I'm old, but anyway, this is it with my scaffold. This is a Piaggio I painted for 3D printing lollipop brand. This is it. This is the way you have to work sometimes. In the small hall with, it's like painting trends in a yard finally, so it's funny. So this is behind a glass, once again, for a barber shop. This is for the same barber shop. It's process like distress style. This is it finished. This is reverse glass painting with gold leaf gilding, and it's 2 tones gold. The outlines are matte, and the inner of the letters are mirror. This is for a shop in the south of France, painting on the outside and gilding on the door. This is for a burger joint in Paris. They wanted something like not the menu with the prices, but a kind of pop illustration on the top showing all the things they are selling. So when I was there to do this kind of thing, I said, okay, we have to paint something on the glass. You have a brick wall. It's so cool. It's like the US. You have to do like a stem thing, like distressed. So finally, I painted all the shop. So that's cool. This is for Empreinte, big shop in Paris. This is for a fairground in Paris, in Tuileries. So this is another style. So every time I try, if they don't give me the design, I try to be close to the context once again. It's funny to have this kind of letters, as you could see back in the days in the fairgrounds. Even if it's not really, it's like more a cowboy thing, but it's working. So this is kind of a sketching process for a friend running a tattoo shop. So we did this one. It's gold leaf once again with two tones and some mother of pearl inlays, I guess you say. I don't know. We will see that. So this is the process. So this is it finished. You can see the blue things are mother of pearl. Blue one. This is it. This is it again. This was for Honda. It's not really interesting, but it's anyway. They asked me and four other European artists to do something on about their new scooter. And anyway, all the guys they had worked on the project since 3 weeks, and the Frenchy guy was out. So they asked me, okay, we need someone, and it was too short. So I just said, okay, my work is about letters and logos. So even it was really not my style, I proposed them some mix of what I do, meaning like gilding behind glass, working with wood and blah, blah, blah. And by the way, this new scooter is a mix between the city, urban thing and the countryside, because the tires are like frothy things. So this is a process for Instagram. They were doing some Frenchy account, like with the French-speaking countries like Canada, France, and blah blah blah. And they did this découvrir ensemble, discover together hashtag, and they wanted to do like an event to launch the account. So they asked me to do some handwriting stuff. So I worked on the hashtag, and so this is the process, and finally this is the one we kept. And focus. Really crappy black ink to scan it, and then after that I burned it. I mean the guys running this machine. We burned the logo on wood. This is the process, because you will see what's happening after that. It's quite clean. It's amazing, those machines. And I did the icon, the logo. Then the people could during the event have it in the ends and do selfies, and then this will work. This is tint testing. This is the final product, and the engraving is with gold leaf. It's gilded. This is it. I didn't, usually when you do that, you sand everything and then it's really flat and smooth. But I really like the rough thing, because it's like, it's cool. So this is it when it's varnished there. There, it's just show you how we have to work once again. Sometimes it's kind of a yogi thing. Vincent is helping me. He's a sign painter too. He's there and he's laughing because we do a lot of things together, and every time it's funny. So this is like that, like that, like that. It looks like it's cool, but it's like a CrossFit thing, and I'm old, so it's not so easy. So this was for restaurant in Paris, and it's a mix between Indian food, North African food, and African food. Yeah. So you have Algerian things, and a lot of cool food. And then I proposed the guys to mix those really strong visual culture. I mean, in India or Africa, it's so colorful. There are crazy hand lettering things. So this is a mix of finally a menu. And this is their baseline. It's like a distressed thing. This is the stairs. It's written love with different languages. Some signage outside. Vincent helped me on that one. So this is for a bar in Pigalle. They wanted to do something, and the design was like Art Deco, so I proposed them to do it with, it's like silver leaf, but technically it's, we can't use that outside because it's, I don't know the name in English, but it's ça s'oxyde. So you have to use the material called palladium. So this is the same thing, but anyway, it was quite cool with an Art Deco style. This is for another bar, same guys, another place, and it's their logo, so it's reverse glass painting, all the blue and black things you see, and those gray, but it's quite white, but the outlines are in palladium leaves too. It's a gilding. So this is for a burger joint, once again. This is a yoga thing too. We did together. I guess this is our thing. So it was for an hotel in Chamonix, and we had to, I don't remember, like hundreds of things. It's a Pac-Man thing on the ceiling. So we spent hours to do that, and we went back totally. We died there. So we had to. We were supposed to have a scaffold. We didn't have any scaffold. We were supposed to have lights, but we were working like that in the dark with like. Lights on the head. This is the sentence. It's from Lana Del Rey. It's there because they have like a video games corner. So this is details of the ceiling, which is quite funny finally, but it was not so funny to do. This is a restaurant in Paris. Once again, like a distressed render. This is it. Finally, they did this logo for €5 on the web. All those companies stealing our job, finally. So that was cool to do some distressed thing to get some style, I guess. But yeah, it could have been worse, by the way, regarding the design for €5. So this is one of the one I really love because it's in my district and I'm living there since I'm a kid, and it's Sleepers Factory. It's Sleeper, yeah. And it's on the. So anyway, I received this email from the guy, and the guy told me, okay, look, I have this on the wall outside, and we are painting everything new, and we have to keep that because it was a Sleepers Factory back in the days, and it's like the patrimoine from the district, you know. So when I received that, it was like one of the jobs you want to do in your life. I mean, for me, because I knew this one, and as a old signs collector, I'm taking a lot of pictures in the streets. I really knew this one, so I was so happy. So I went there. I had to keep the design, the old one, and repaint it. Yeah, this is it. It's cool. It's really classical, but I kept everything, all the mistakes between letters, the spaces, everything is really the same. The guy wanted the same thing, so yeah, I wasn't there to say, okay, look at the E and the U and the Q, so I kept everything like that, and it's cool. So this was samples for some clients some months ago. It's once again glass painting and gilding. This is he is laughing because it's really pain in the ass process there. It's called glue chip. To make it quite fast, you use something and you lay some product on the glass, on the behind, and when it's drying, it's breaking the glass, leaving like some shapes like snowflakes. And then when you gild that after that, it's like that. It's kind of saloon thing. So the black is reverse glass painting. You have mirror outline with 23K gold leaf, and everything is 23K, but yeah, anyway, yeah, you see it. There it's the same thing, it's glass painting with gold leaf. There too. This is for another restaurant, once again distressed style, it's veggie, restaurant, and this is it's finished. Okay, I guess yeah, I have to finish anyway. So this is a personal project I do. I take a lot of pictures of old signs, and I really like all the when the shops are closing, they do this white paint thing on the windows, and so I'm playing with real pictures I took. Real baseline like that, which is in English it's everything must go, and all those type codes, because this one was really used in France anyway during back in the days, so it's funny to play with that, and so I do some small shop windows in fact. So usually the glass is clear. You have nothing there. There is a blue paper behind, but it's a series and it's clear. This is an old shop in the 18th district, and anyway, the name was funny. And this was the paint when you were doing like neon lights. Back in the day, they were painting the same design behind on the wall or on the wood thing, and then they were adding the letters on the top. So I kept the design. It's exactly the same design of the painting when the neon was broken, and you see it's really crappy. So, but this is the thing I like, you know. And there, I hope it's not finished, but yeah. This is just to say bye-bye, you know? I guess it's finished, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, François.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions to start? No? Not yet? Too shy, perhaps? Okay. Marina?
No, because you showed a lot of work, and then some of them you said, oh, but I cannot talk about this because I don't have time. Like, I was wondering if you could talk a bit more about that first CD cover you did. It was like, oh, there's so many stories about the rapper that you have.
I'm afraid if I come back on the thing, I will do a mess. But yeah, anyway, I grew up with the hip hop thing, and I'm still like, I'm listening to every kind of music, but the rap thing was really in my culture. So this was funny. Back when I was 12, I knew I wanted to do logotypes, work with letters, and the funny thing is that's too bad because I still have it, but I didn't take any picture. But I still have my exam when I was like 18, baccalaureate, I think, you know. I was in a art school, kind of, and my personal project was like we had to do like 30 boards of something personal, and this was a record, a James Brown record with it was a box with 4 CDs already. So, and finally I did graphic design mainly in the music industry. And the thing is, yeah, it was funny to have the first jobs were for the rap music, French ones. And the thing is, it was the golden age when I started for the French rap. So That was cool to see some guys younger than me, already stars, and then I was working for them. So yeah, and this one was particular. I don't know how to say that, but particulièrement difficult to manage. And yes, I should go back on this thing, but I don't know.
The guy?
Yeah, the guy. Yeah. So when I was at the university, I had this guy in my classroom. He was doing graffiti, so we became friends. And this rapper was living in his building, and he asked him to work on his second album design. But we weren't a graphic designer yet. And I knew, I had another friend, a bit older, he was a graphic designer too, and already, I mean, and then we went to him to tell him, okay, we have this big project, it's a cool artist, and this is for Virgin Music. Would you like to work with us on that? And then we could have like an apprenticeship in graphic design finally, because if we work with you, we will learn how to use the computer and blah blah blah. So this is how I learned to use the computer and blah blah blah. And when we did this, this was in 97, yeah. But the record was released 2 or 3 years after that, and so during this really long period, we had crazy stories. So yeah, so I don't remember when. Thank you. Where I? Yeah. There is one, but it's really bad. Yeah, it's like painting trains. You don't have to do that. But we needed this guillotine thing, and there is just one museum in Paris having one. So we went to a rental place, but it wasn't possible. I don't really remember. But anyway, we went to this museum and with one of the 2 guys. And we were at the library, and they were having like this hors série, you know, magazine, a big one, around speaking about the museum with all the catalog of the thing. And there was I don't know why we did that, but there was a full page with this picture. Like a really beautiful picture, you know, and we were like, wow. But I don't know, because if I think right now, it was nothing, you know, we just had to buy it. I don't know why we did that, but we came back with a blade, you know, an X-Acto, and we were like hiding from the cameras, and we just cut the wow, shit. We cut the thing, and we bring it back and did an illegal scan of it, and this is it. So I guess now I won't have trouble, but this is one of the funny stories, yes. But with this guy, we had crazy stories, like going. Back in the days, if I'm not wrong, he bought back, like not Johnny Hallyday's big star manager's house in the countryside. So we went there, and there was this. This was a crazy house, and in the garden he was having a really huge pit bull, and it was. They put a rope around his neck and to the tree, and so when he arrived, he said to the manager, "What did you do that to my dog?" And he said, "Look, he just jumped this afternoon on the neighbor's horse, you know." So there were crazy stories, and I think finally I quit this industry because of that. Because after 15 years, it's like you are a graphic designer, you do some art direction. You are waiting for hours and hours and nights in record studios to take pictures of guys never coming, and it's fights and crazy thing, plus all the process with the major, the management, all the things. So yeah, this is it. Where we had crazy stories with her. Yeah, I can tell. But anyway, this was really political, and back in the days it was quite crazy. And for the release of the album, they wanted to do a big release in the Virgin Music Virgin Megastore shop, which was on the Champs-Élysées. And when you enter this shop, you have a really big circle with a lot of records, you know, the brand new released. And we wanted to have this guillotine thing in the middle. and have a lot of really tough guys like that, dressed like that, around with all the things, all the records there. And so, but they never allowed us to do that because they knew that it was kind of weird and there will be like a mess and so on. Yeah, I'm getting old, but yeah, if I speak too much, I will, too many stories with the rappers.
Are there perhaps other questions?
No.
It works, yes. Microphone, any question? Yes.
Just one more on the Doc Gineco campaign. Were you behind the idea of the like the copywriting and the picture as well, like the heads will roll and the pig head? Yeah, that one.
You mean the art direction?
Yeah, the art
we
direction.
did everything. Yeah, we did everything. Yeah,
that's great.
that was cool because finally we thought it would be too political, but he was kind of a funny guy like that, but he wasn't funny at all. You can't mess with him. So when we proposed that, he was crazy about that. And by the way, the two cheap posters, really political with his ID, it was its ID, and he wanted something like that. And finally, it's not so crazy because when you, in this context, when you have a big guy like that selling a lot of records that back in the days he was, the major company said, okay, let's do a mess, you know. The major wanted to do this thing in Virgin Megastore, but this is the Virgin Megastore security thing, which didn't allow us to do that. But that in the subway, it was, I guess it's one of my best projects, finally. It's the first one, but it was so crazy. We had those really huge posters in the subway. Back in the days, it was really expensive. And we had, a big network and the same spots for 2 weeks with 2 posters. And yeah, everything was working. So it was really cool. And by the way, this is a compilation with a lot of really known French rapper. I mean, from this period, by the way, but yeah, we
Thank
just
you.
yeah, okay. Yeah, and for the just one thing for the there were 2 releases. There was like this one with the rope, and by the way, to have that back in the days, it's a lot of money for rap things. So we had a lot of samples coming from London. Nobody was okay with that, and finally we weren't really happy with the result because it's quite fake, the red stamp, the wax thing. But it's funny, but yeah, anyway, you know all the process as graphic designers. You can get everything, but this was quite cool to have all those things. We had the vinyl, different kind of designs. It was crazy, yeah. A lot of budget, by the way, but anyway.
I have a question for you. Is in the beginning of your presentation, you have a lot of political words about society and things like that. And at the end of the presentation, you have a lot of lettering about American life, burger and everything. How you are able to deal with so contrasted aspect of your life, to be against and to work for in same time.
Yeah, but this is the big thing, you know. Yeah, if you want to be a real guy against everything, you go naked in the street. And by the way, you live in the forest, you know. So this is my dream, but yeah, I don't really like to be naked, you know. So yeah. But you know that this is a joke asking me that because
for sure it's a joke.
Yeah, but yeah, this is but by the way, I don't do sentences like that in the streets now. No, but yeah. But look, the first graphic design project was really political finally.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm okay. Okay, sorry.
More question?
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
So, thank you. We'll stop the live and see you, the people watching us, in something like 20 minutes for the second part of the Type Talk. Bye bye, live stream.